Hey everyone, welcome back to Flickr Film. Happy Sunday. Last week I made a video with my top 5 tips for buying a camera. This week I decided to go through the accessories that I purchased with my FS7. When I was doing research into accessories for an FS7 before I even bought this camera, I had a look on YouTube and I couldn't find any lists anywhere. I found some things on forums which were a little bit helpful, but in the end it ended up being ultimately up to me to do the research myself. Some of the accessories I got were great, some of them were a little bit of a miss. So I feel like this video might be helpful if you're looking for an FS7 yourself, or if you're thinking of purchasing any camera indeed, because some of these accessories can be interchangeable. One of the main complaints I found when I was looking at reviews for the FS7 was in regards to the EVF bracket. The one that comes with the camera is flimsy. It's plasticky, it folds down, yes, and it's more compact, yes. But being flimsy and plasticky, it doesn't hold straight. And if your EVF doesn't hold straight, sometimes that can affect your shot. To combat this, I found the wooden camera EVF bracket. This is by far the best one I've seen. It is incredibly robust. It's stable, it's very easy to use and very maneuverable. If I take it off for you, I'll show you. Basically, you've got a little 15mm adapter on the front here. That Allen keys to the front of your top plate. And then, as you can see, it's made of metal. It's super stable and very easy to use. If you need to get the EVF further away from your face, you slide it along the NATO rail like so, and just tighten it off. All in all, I thought this was an excellent buy. Moving on, also under the wooden camera bracket is the wooden camera top plate. I think this is an amazing accessory. It has ARRI standard 3/8 and 1/4 inch screws and is very adaptable to this camera. It even has a middle section which can come out and you can put your original handle in there instead of using a third-party handle. I also have a third-party handle which is from Wooden Camera as well, which is excellent. But if you do need to use the original handle, you don't want to scrap your top plate as well. Another accessory which I have here that isn't attached to the camera right now is this. I purchased this at the time of purchasing the FS7, and it is the MovCam VLock Plate. In my previous video, I was talking about how my camera was going to be rented out at a rental house, and therefore it needed a more reliable power source. So I decided to opt for getting this MovCam distribution box. Because I couldn't find much information for VLock plates for an FS7, this decision was kind of left up to me. I'm gonna say that this is a fail on my part. I didn't do the proper research. It's really not a fantastic back. I don't know if it's a fault with mine specifically, as I haven't been able to find if anybody else is encountering the same issues, but it is a cheaper design. Sometimes the D-tabs don't completely fit in correctly. It's like there's something wrong with the size. The registering pins down the bottom are also not that fantastic. I've had occasions where I've very lightly bumped the battery mid-take and the camera has, boom, cut power. When you turn that camera back on, your heart is pounding as to whether your footage is safe or if it is not. It's a very dangerous predicament to be in if you're being paid for a job and all of a sudden your camera power is down mid-take. You could lose your footage, you could lose everything on the card. It's very dangerous. I did approach MovCam about this issue when it did come up. They required some further information and I gave that information to them, but then they never responded to that. So I just count this as a loss. If you're in the market for a VLock plate for your FS7, I would recommend having a look at Wooden Camera and also at Tilta and Hawken Woods. Prior to purchasing my FS7, I also had some Rokinon EF lenses. I definitely wanted to use those lenses with this camera as they were the only lenses that I had at the time. I didn't have any native E-mount lenses, so therefore I needed an adapter. After doing some shopping around, having a look at some reviews, I found the Metabones E to EF adapter is the best one. I haven't had a thing wrong with it, and I think it's a great brand. It's very solid, and it has the option of putting in a lens support for heavier lenses. As an extra power source, I decided to go for 2 Sony BPU60 batteries and 1 BPU30. I also have the Sony branded dual bay simultaneous BPU charger. These batteries are really great. They last a long time. During a typical day, I end up going through maybe 2 batteries, maybe. That's how good they are. Of course, that all depends if you're shooting high speed or if you're shooting continuously. When it comes to media, I don't like to go light. I don't want to be stuck in a situation where I don't have any media to shoot on. So I went in for a Sony XQD card reader. It's USB 3 and it doesn't require any external power sources, which is excellent. Card-wise, I decided to go for 3 128GB Sony XQD cards. I haven't seemed to run into an issue where I've needed more than 3 cards, and I think 3 is the magic number if you're looking for purchasing cards of any type. Just make sure they're a large and fast enough card for what you need. Prior to having this base plate, I did have the Crow's Heel base plate, which was quite good, except the shoulder pad was a bit too far back and I couldn't balance it correctly on my shoulder for the weight of the lens at the front. As an upgrade to this, I really wanted the Zacuto universal base plate. However, I could not afford to fork out that much for it. So I had a look at other options and this one popped up. It's the SmallRig Universal VCT14 plate. I think it's okay for the price that it is. There are a few pitfalls though, but I guess that comes with the price. The shoulder pad is really soft, the area rosettes on the side, the adjustable 15mm rails at the front, as well as the Manfrotto standard base plate to slide on. They're all good draw cards for purchasing this item. Now for the bad things. So first of all, the weight of it. It is quite heavy. This is the weight of the Zacuto base plate, and that is the weight of the SmallRig. It may not seem much, but when you add extra accessories onto the camera, it can really get quite heavy. Another downside I found is the screws on these Arri rosettes come loose quite easily, and quite frequently. Further to that, the measurements on the lock-offs of the VCT seem to be ever so slightly out. There is ever so slight movement in the camera, and if you're using a long lens, that can be quite detrimental to nailing a shot. However, this is something that doesn't quite affect me too often, so it's not a massive issue. But it still is an issue. And if you look on the other side of the camera, attached to this side on the Arri rosette is the shape extension arm. I think this is by far the best thing you can purchase for your FS7. It is such a time saver. Instead of having this, the Sony version is just a screw that you have to unscrew and then move out of the way. If you need it maneuvered into a certain position, it can be really difficult to do with one hand. If you're a lone operator, all you want to do is push a button and pull it any way you want. Of course, this is so easy. You just push this red button here and it's out of the way. It's so simple and it's such an ingenious idea. I don't know why Sony just didn't come out and do it. Anyway, the shape extension handle, 100% buy this if you're buying an FS7. So I hope you got something out of this video today if you're purchasing a camera and trying to work out which accessories to get. I've left all the links to these accessories below in the description. These are not affiliate links. I am not gonna get any commission off these purchases. Heck, I've got 62 subscribers and most of them are my friends. So anyway, if you like this video and you're not my friend, please like and subscribe and I'll see you next Sunday.